Hi, YouTube. It's Angela. Happy mid-December. Can't even believe this year is coming to a close soon. So that's pretty crazy, the way time moves past us so quickly. It's a reminder to, calm it down, be more aware of each moment. Hard to do sometimes when life is moving so quickly. Which brings me to our reading. This is really nice because it is sort of a continuation from last week when we talked about the Mercury retrograde, which we are in this week. And it is a time for slowing, for pausing, and sort of reassessing where we are. But the beauty of this is that it is just sort of clarifying that a little more and giving us some steps. The first card I pulled, and I pulled this from the Dreamweaver's Oracle, one of my just favorite new decks. It's beautiful. It's very whimsical, and the little illustrations are great. But what I pulled is when you're neither here nor there. So this is that in-between energy. This is that sort of, I'm in this time, this period of suspension, maybe. And, as we said, Mercury retrograde brings that sort of paused energy already. And it's the end of the year, and it's, the holidays, and it's winter time. It's just, perfect reflection of what we're in, that sort of in-between energy. We are guided here to bless everything that has come in our past that has led us to this very moment, and then start to detect from that path leading till now what can be released, what can be let go of, cutting cords with old thinking, old unwanted energy, certain versions of connections in our relationships. If we're in a relationship that's ongoing, but there's a little struggle or uncertainty, we can let go of those past versions of that. Maybe there was more strife in the past, and you're carrying that with you to the present, and it's clouding how to proceed with that person going forward. So it's a time to really, stop the energy, drill down into what can be released. What do I want to carry with me in my luggage on my path forward once I get going again? Do I want to bring all these old energies with me? Some of them may serve a purpose, and we may want to continue with them, but it's sort of like take an energetic inventory here of what you want to bring with you carrying forward. So this is nice because it's a extended exploration into this pause that we've already sort of established for this time. And then I pulled a couple of Zen cards to go with each of these oracles that I pulled. And for this vibe, when you're neither here nor there, that limbo kind of feeling, I pulled control. I love how these come up. It's like, oh, okay, remind me again how my mind tries to, put everything into place and control every situation without the help of my soul and the divine. Let me just be reminded again that I'm always trying to nail something into place, right? But being able to be with that unknown sometimes can bring up, sense of a need to control, because that vulnerability in the unknown and in the, I'm in between phases, let me pause and see how I want to proceed. There's a vulnerability there that sometimes is not comfortable. So we snap into, this is a mental energy. We snap into ideas, how can I make this feel better? What decisions can I make to make it at least feel like I'm moving forward, right? Instead of just being with that. And remember, a big part of the energy of this card is releasing past unwanted vibrations, releasing those and leaving them behind as you prepare to go forward and create again. And I pulled clinging to the past. So we know the energy of this card is this woman has this box of memories just clouding her vision, obstructing her vision of the present, which is full of sparkly lights and happy feelings. She's unable to reach that because of her head being in the past. So, and this isn't even talking about, moving forward to the future. This is talking about just get caught up and be in the present, right? So I love that. Those really lined up well. And it's trying to become more comfortable with not knowing. And remember in the last week's reading, the December reading, that Mercury, that sort of pause and reflect reading, we talked about having, being at one and being okay with that confusion, with that unknown, and actually choosing confusion. It brings back a little bit of your power in that, to say, I choose to not know right now. And I will wait and see the signs that carry me forward, but I don't know. And that's my decision. That's my choice. You sort of own it that way. And then you can clear up the sort of swirling clouds vibration that we can experience when we are, stuck in the unknown like that. But we can make use of the time, right? Of this limbo sort of, pause in, excuse me, in our progress. We can make use of that. And the next few oracles I pulled are from this herbal astrology deck. And we're going to focus mostly on the herbal energy now. This deck has a few layers. It's really nice. Attributing some of the energies of the plants to astrological elements. But we're just going to focus on the plant right now. And the first one I pulled after this neither here nor there vibration is dream, poppy. So we know that the poppy, was used, they extracted morphine from it back in the, 1800s or whatever, and used it as a sleep-inducing, pain-relieving element. But what they didn't really realize is that there's also darker, addictive qualities to it that came into light later. For the purpose of this reading, we're going to focus on that sort of dream state, the being able to rest and dream and enter other realms, that magical dream time that we have, which, if welcomed in fully embraced, as far as let me just dream up whatever the next thing that I want to do, even if it feels illogical or not doable, still find a way to, let your imagination roll at this point. If you're in the neither here nor there space and you don't really know how to proceed, then start dreaming. Start using your spirit, using your soul instead of just your brain, to outline things going forward. Use all of your energy to really come up with, aligning to your new intention, finding a way to align to the new version of you. And I love that because the Zen cards that came with that are like, couldn't be better. I got aloneness. This, remember, is not loneliness. This is more self-empowering. This is the presence of yourself as opposed to the absence of another. And this is just a reminder that your dreams, right, belong to you, and you own them, and you can, you can take action toward them at any time. But your ability to really flesh it out right now at this time in this paused vibration we have is going to really help moving forward. And then with the aloneness card, I pulled guidance. So this is using your inner being to start to, create little cracks in those clouds, in the shrouded vision that you may be experiencing. I really don't know how to proceed. I know that I'm closing a phase. I know that even if we're just talking in practical, tangible matters, the calendar is turning to a new year. It's turning over to a new, whole 12 months, but also that first, January energy has this real, a lot of times forceful quality of moving forward, and changing, old habits. So we're in the perfect time for that. But what we forget sometimes is our inner being. And what does our soul want us to do, right? How do we want to proceed? This could be the most elusive, subtle shift that you're making, that maybe this is happening only within you, and then perhaps others around you. This doesn't have to be, I'm going to let the year go and create a whole new me and create a whole new project with my work, or, find a new relationship, whatever. It doesn't have to be these big declarations of change. These could be subtle changes within your spirit. For instance, I notice, I feel, let's talk about like an envy. Like if I'm sort of tend to be jealous of others if they have things that I want and I haven't achieved those yet. I tend to feel jealous of the way someone else looks compared to me or whatever. Those shifts, first of all, we know that serves nothing. It's almost a wasted energy, because it's bypassing the beauty and the wonder and the magic of you, and laying the expectation, on this other model, this external model that isn't perhaps aligned with your own self. But we get to recognize that in ourselves, and maybe come up with a way to ease yourself out of that energy of jealousy. That's just one way that you could make an internal shift. I'm just trying to create an example. But that phase, that energy of, okay, I'm letting some stuff go behind, I'm leaving some stuff behind, and I'm going forward to create new. And in the middle of that, in that in-between phase, I get to dream up how I want the changes to show up in my life. And then I pulled ashwagandha. This is restorative, rejuvenating, adapting to stressors or things that come out. It's being able to continue going forward. The little description here says purpose, finding that way to first of all regulate and strengthen your inner being, which ashwagandha does for your physical body as well. But we're talking about your inner being now, and then to find your future self. Like we said with the dream, you're aligning with that future version, you're aligning with it energetically. And in this card, you're plotting the steps to get there, the future version of you. Revive your energy, restore where there was lack, where there was, more of a weighted, denser energy, rejuvenate it, find new life, and set your sights on what's coming next. With that, I pulled awareness. This is that clarity. This is from the dream state of kind of not knowing, and even this, limbo state of neither here nor there. We're coming to a place now in our work, right? In our work, which our work is allowing what is to be present, doing sort of an energetic inventory and figure out what we can cut the cord off, what we can leave behind as we plan to move forward and revive our energy and become more of the being that we are. And that's this point. That's where the clarity starts to come. We start to get ideas one at a time. I could, if I'm a jealous person and I want to move out of that habit of responding with jealousy, even that's just internal and I never say it out loud, I can come up with a counter phrase or whatever that I can tell myself. If I start to feel this envy, then I can tell myself, I am whole, I am a safe, I am in safety, I'm beautiful, I am supported by the divine. Whatever that is, you can tell yourself to get out of that, to not let that energy take hold. And that's this clarity. You could start to come up with ideas to move yourself into the next version of you. And then, of course, I pulled new vision. So we talked about the purpose. We talked about finding your future self. And this is where it is, right? It's in your sights, right? You've got the clarity, and now you can start aiming for that. I love that. And then this last card, it's almost like every single reading I do has something about this energy. And I got patience. I pull patience so many times. It's in a lot of decks, right? But I pull it a lot. It's just a reminder to, you know, hold steady, to just know it's unfolding. This is depicted by the horsetail, patience. And as it goes, the horsetail is a descendant. This is what I learned in the little accompanying guidebook here. Beautiful thought, though, that the horsetail is a descendant of large trees. You know, horsetail is just a little plant, right? And these are descended from large, very large trees in the Paleozoic era, which is about 400 to 600 million years ago. So the endurance and the power in patience shows up in horsetail, right? We get to know that holding fast to the core of our being and being always in touch with what's right for your soul, as your mind is plotting and planning and your body is taking action in the real world, but always being connected to that core of you endures. That's how you endure, because it's always referring back to the core of who you are, to, you know, that inner alignment that pretty much, you know, is present everywhere, but we don't always refer to it. You know, we like to rely on our brains and our logic and our taking action, but it all starts with our energy and having the patience to know this, and to when things start to kind of go a little wonky, to pull in our determination, and that those qualities that we have as human beings are wonderful for getting stuff done, right? For you know, seeing things through to the end. But if at any point we're leaving behind the fact that we're working in concert with the divine at all times, and that this patience and this knowing that if I stay aligned, this will unfold to my favor, we leave that behind a lot when our minds take over and stuff. So it's a matter of striking that balance, but always knowing that we are creating, you know, from that place, from that inner space within us, which leads me to the next card, which is crazily aligned. We are the creator. And that's that core space lit up. That's sort of a third chakra, self-empowerment energy lit up in that figure. And we lose sight of that sometimes, that, you know, if we find ourselves in a situation that has gotten too overwhelming, we tend to point blame at out external sources, when if we really pull in and see, we've made choices along the way that brought us to that place. And there's no judgment there. It's not a matter of labeling it good or bad. That was a good choice, that was a bad choice. It was a choice and there was a result. And if we lose track of our inner being the one to divine these choices forward for us, then we get into that place where we're losing touch with our own accountability in a situation. So we are the creator. We're the creator of everything that we experience. We're not the creator of outside choices, like things that people choose to do that come our way. We're not the creator of that. But in that situation, when stuff comes flying at us, we can create the quality of our experience through that. If it's conflict, we can create how we experience that conflict by our response. And that is the power that you hold within your being. And then the final card here, perfectly for the patience card too, and for this, I don't know where I'm going and I don't know what direction to go in, I got beyond illusion. This is the transformation happening. This is, you know, that caterpillar that never knew it was going to become a butterfly, but still went through the process, went through the elements and the biological processes that were in place already for millennia, right? Go into the cocoon, take shape, reform, right? It's all coming through. This is also a highly intuitive card. If you see that third eye is lit up, and then light, light and energy is connected through the crown chakra as well. So this is a higher, a perspective for your higher being. And it goes right under that patience card, and it goes right beside the creator. So it's, whatever, this process is that you've determined you want to go forward with, right? You're leaving something behind and you're creating new. You may not even know, if you remain aligned, you may not even know how wonderful it's going to be, right? What will blossom from that. And it's just a reminder to stay in this moment, keep your energetic feet directly under you, and plot the next step and take it. And then from your alignment, start to allow this stuff to unfold. So I love that. And then let me just pull a few more cards that we can sort of use as a cap for this, as a sort of a end of the reading summary. And I got follow through. Look at that. So this is after we've made it through this limbo period, dreamed up what we're going to do next, created, our future self in our minds and in our spirit, and then moving toward it with patience and presence. Follow through. Now it's time to take action, right? This is coming, after all that work's been done, after the flushing out the past and all that's been done, then we have a clear path forward as long as we take that action. But I also got flowering. And that is all the seeds, that you've planted through this process of realigning, reassessing, letting go, creating new. It starts to show up. It starts to show up in your life. The seeds that have planted are blossoming. And then I got the master. This is higher self work. This is, crown chakra energy. This is connecting to source, God, the divine spirit, the creator, whatever that word is that you use. It's the same energy, right? It's that collective, that higher self that we all have, that we all can stay attuned to if we choose. But that's what this work is. It's beautiful. It's even this guidance that comes through is happening for you. If you've come to this video, right, for whatever reason, this guidance is ready for you to hear. And, you may want to bookmark it in case, you're not quite, maybe you're getting too much done in December and there is no time to pause, but you could bookmark it and create these steps later. It's really a reminder to stay aligned internally, even in transitions, right? Okay, that will do it for now. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.